Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Spotlight. I'm your host today, Todd Rodden. I'm a certified business and executive coach based here in the Dayton, Ohio area, and I own Aspire Action Coach. And today, thrilled to have you join us as we talk with Gerald Miller, CEO of J&I Duc Fab Work here in the Southwest Ohio region as well. I think you have a passionate owner here sharing his story of how he grew up in the trades and then branched out into his own very prosperous, high growth business here as well. So if you're new to the series, we're thrilled to have you join us. We encourage you to hit that subscribe button so you can receive future messages from other inspiring business leaders and entrepreneurs like you're going to hear from Gerald today. So without further ado, Gerald Miller, CEO of J&I Duc Fab. Welcome to the spotlight. Take a second, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about your business and how you got started in ductwork manufacturing.
Well, I was raised, my father was in the plumbing business, and his father had a mechanical contracting company in Indiana. And so I was kind of raised working in construction and always enjoyed it. And so at a very young age, probably 9 years old, I decided I was going to get older and start my own business. So at the age of, in 1975, I would have been 18 or 19 years old, and I founded my plumbing company. And in 1980, I went into the HVAC, started doing the heating and air. And so for 38 years, I evolved into a company that had over 100 employees, did commercial, industrial, plumbing, heating, and air. And then in 2013, I decided to back off a little bit, downsize. And so I kept my sheet metal manufacturing part of the company, and I closed down all of my install, the plumbing and the HVAC, I closed all that down. So for the last 11 years, I've ran J&I Duc Fab, and we basically manufacture all types of heating and air ductwork, round, rectangular. We use all kinds of metals, stainless steel, aluminum, galvanized. And I've only got about 19, 20 employees. So life is good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
So what a great story. I mean, starting businesses at 18, you branched out multiple types of services, especially in the trades. It's rare, Gerald, that you hear somebody says, I decided to kind of back off or back down and I just run a manufacturing business now. So that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Maybe take a minute and share with us around J&I, what kind of, who are your target customers? So folks who are listening to this series who say, hey, maybe they should reach out and understand the services you provide.
Well, our primary target customers would be mechanical contractors who do commercial industrial work, who do not have their own metal shop. Now, that being said, some of our accounts do build some of their duct. However, we do large projects. And so if a contractor gets into a real big job, they don't have the resources to build, then they come to us. So our target contractor would be the one doing larger projects. But at the same time, we'll do a small job. If somebody walks in, we'll do a $500 job. But we also do the $1 million sheet metal projects.
And maybe if you could, with the audience, kind of share geographically the footprint you support.
You say the footprint?
Yeah, I mean, how broad is your customer base across the U.S.?
Well, currently we ship all the way to the Rockies. So we cover every state to the Rockies. In many cases, we'll have maybe some of these chain stores that are putting stores all over the nation. We'll cover a lot of their stores, and so we ship pretty much every place this side of the Rockies.
Well, maybe if you mind, take a minute, kind of share how you've been able to build the business to that broad of a distribution, right? I mean,
well, that's a good question, and I think it's because we have very good quality. I've got excellent employees. I've got people who care about the company. We care about the customer. And so word of mouth of, customers, they buy from us. We have good competitive pricing. They get good quality product that's built right the first time. And they come back to us and they share with other contractors, how great of a job we're doing. And I give my employees a high five for that, because I've got great employees and they build it right and we ship it right and they don't have problems. So I think that goes a long ways. We do some marketing through Facebook and internet. Coffee with Champions has helped us a lot the last couple of years getting to where we're at. And so I'd have to say Coffee with Champions has also helped us expand our business and get to where we're at currently.
Yep. Love that group. I just came from the Springboro Coffee with Champions here just about an hour ago this morning. So it's a fun, engaging, and also a productive group in terms of making great business connections. So you talked about Facebook. Any other marketing channels that have borne out, especially that broader reach across the U.S.?
I don't think so. I mean, our main way is word of mouth, but we do have a updated website. Our website is good. We use that. But we don't really use any other marketing channels that I'm aware of. Okay. Other than the website and Facebook. And
so you talked about the strength of your team. What else do you think makes J&I unique, especially in the marketplace?
Well, I would have to say that our culture here, our team culture, we've got people who've been here since the beginning. I've got people who've been here since we first started, and we have a great team of people, and I think that's probably what makes our company what it is and who it is our people.
Okay. So how have you been able, I mean, so many businesses are challenged right now with finding and retaining their most talented, highest contributing employees. So what have been your keys to building up that team and keeping those great folks?
Well, could you repeat the question? I don't think I heard it all. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Great. Gerald, you highlighted, hey, your team, you've got a lot of folks who are long tenured, been there since you started the business. So, a lot of businesses, are challenged to keep their top employees. So how have you been able to build that culture? What do you put in place? How do you lead the team? So folks want to stay.
Yeah, that's a great question. We have monthly team meetings. We utilize the Coffee with Champion, and that helps us a lot. Our people feel valued. They know we care about them as individuals. They're not just a number. And we do different things. I give them, just as an example, come to mind, 3 days a week, they get, instead of a 15-minute break in the afternoon, they get a 30-minute break, and they get outside and walk around our building, which is a 60,000 square foot building. So, so we do things different, do some things to try to help energize and get to where people like working here, want to work here. And they're paid a competitive wage. But the reality of it is the money is a small reason for people staying. They stay, they don't want to leave. They like working for us. And, we got great people, and they like working with one another.
Okay.
And, we have incentives. We have bonuses. If they refer somebody in here to work for us, after 90 days, they get a bonus for sending that person. So even though it's been a challenging market to hire people, this year we've increased our workforce probably 40%. And it's primarily been from word of mouth. is how we've gotten those employees. We try advertising, and it's hard to get the people that fit in our culture by advertising.
Great examples of really leveraging the relationships of the existing team to make those referrals, rewarding them for that, right? But then also, hey, you're more likely to get new folks coming in that are a great fit culturally because they're already connected with your existing employees as well. So, Gerald, I'm interested to learn, given your wealth of business leadership experience, what do you think over particularly your time leading J&I the last 11 years? What's been a big challenge that came your way, and how did you overcome that? What did you learn from that process?
As far as the last 11 years in leading J&I, things have been quiet compared to my previous 30 some years of leading my previous companies. Because we have a way of learning things early on in life, and you go through certain challenges. So I've kind of been it's been very easy the last 11 years. Whenever you have 100 employees and you go down to 20, hey, you're living in good times. And so actually this last 11 years, I've not had a lot of challenges. It's probably been getting some key people I needed. If you need a key person in a area, sometimes it's hard to find somebody who has that qualification. You basically have to bring them in and train them. But I wouldn't mind just sharing briefly that a life experience in business. Back in 1980, I was 5 years in business. I had $100,000 borrowed, and interest rate hit 21.5%. Prime rate did. So those of you who are concerned today about prime rates, this isn't nothing. To 1980, it was 21.5%. So yeah, interest today going from 3% up close to 6% prime. That had a little bit of challenging to it, but we're working through all that, and everything's going to be good.
So with that mindset, so you took us back to that time with interest rates were so high. Was there something you learned on how to lead the business, or how you prioritize your precious dollars then that have carried through the test of time?
Yeah, I definitely would have learned things through that. And one thing I want to insert here as a believer in God and a believer in the Bible, the Word of God, and the Scripture. I've from early on my entire business career, I know Matthew 6:33 says to put God first. And that's what I've done. And that don't make things easy. We all go through the same challenges. But by believing in a God who loves and cares and trusting in him through the tough times, that helps you get through in the darkest hour when everything is dark, the tunnel, you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. My personal belief in Jesus has helped me get through those tough times. And in 2012, 2013, when I shut down GM, my other company, and transitioned into just having sheet metal, I was going through some financial challenges that pushed me that direction. And that was a very tough time to get through it. And most people would have put the odds and the bets that I would not have survived, but I did survive. And I'm just here today to anybody out there that thinks it's the end of the road. It don't have to be the end of the road. If you just keep working, keep plugging away, trusting, and know that God's on your side, you can do it. You can make it. And I'm a testament to that.
So, given your deep faith, I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that. I'm curious, how do you apply that, translate that then to how you lead your team? Actually, you built a great culture. How does that carry over?
Well, I think, and begin with, I don't push my beliefs on anybody. And I don't typically share, because I believe in running a business. But I do believe it translates into how you treat people. Because I don't treat people like they're here just to make me money. I value every employee. I value every customer, everybody I do business with. I value them, and I want to see them win. Business should be a win-win for everybody. I provide a good product. I have good customer service, and then so it's a win-win for all of us.
Hey, thank you for that. So I'm curious again. Okay, that some really big challenges. Back in time, it's felt smoother the last 11 years. It's obviously you simplified the business, and you've got a wealth of knowledge that you've already built up. Curious as you look forward, right? What's a challenge you see on the horizon, or you and the team are currently facing?
Well, uh, my daughter came in about a year ago, and she's the vice president of our company. And so she's taken over some of the things to where I can work less hours, I can take off. So even though I would have maybe anticipated a transfer, me working less hours and handing things off as being a big challenge, it really hasn't been. Because if you get the right people around you that have the same vision, that have the same goals, then it really just kind of all comes together and works out. And that's what I have here. I've got family members that are behind me, and so I'm looking forward to going in the future of working whatever hours I want and having the support team to keep the business running and grow the company while I'm fishing in the lake or in the ocean.
You talked about the importance of that as you start to kind of lift up other leaders, grow other leaders in the business, and having kind of aligned goals. How do you do that? Do you have a process for that, or how do you guys stay synced up?
Well, I really don't have a process per se, although we have the monthly meetings. We have good communication with our team. And so I'm planning on working as long as I'm able to work. But at the same time, if something happens, I've got a team in place to take the company over immediately.
So you talked, kind of build upon that. You talked about, hey, your plan is to continue to work as long as you can, but obviously you're raising up, other leaders to run the business as well. So what's the longer term vision for J&I? Where would you like to see it, say, 5 years down the road?
Well, and in 5 years, we're going to probably be double, because with this past year, we had about a 25% increase in sales. Typically, my goal is 10 to 20% increase annually. So, I think it's very reasonable. In 5 years from now, we'll have double the size company.
So as you think through that, what else will need to change with the business then to achieve and maintain, that size being double?
Well, it all comes back to being able to obtain the right people to do that. Because the last thing you want to do is grow a company with the wrong people to where your quality goes down, your culture changes. So it's going to take the right people to enable that to happen. But I do believe I'm going to get the right people in here, and we're going to make it happen.
I love that confidence, knowing, hey, it's going to happen, right?
Yep.
Just a matter of the timing and next steps. So you talked about your team already, and the great culture that you've built, and you're building up other leaders there as well. we have a lot of viewers in this series that tend to be newer in their journey as an entrepreneur. So curious what you would share as keys to success and maybe things you wish you knew then that you know now that you could share with those kind of newer entrepreneurs.
Well, I would say that over the years, I've learned that my people are very, very valuable. And when I started out in business, I worked a lot of hours, and I'm not sure that I appreciated all the good people and treated them all right. I probably had a little more turnover, although the first person I hired stayed with me for 38 or 39 years. So I had a lot of people that stayed, but at the same time, I had a lot of people that didn't stay. So I would have to say, uh, for people, when you getting the right people is what's going to build your business. You can't build it having high employee turnover. Uh, so getting the right people around and treating them right, making sure your customers feel appreciated and get the right service. Because there's no point in having a bunch of sales if you've got poor quality and poor service. Those sales, you're going to always be chasing sales. And you need to get to where you're not chasing, but you got people calling, asking for work that you can't get done. You're too busy. And that's kind of where we've been. We've been able to accommodate most of our requests, but this past year we had to turn away work. And I don't like doing that, but sometimes that's better than dragging out lead times and not having quality.
Okay. So, Gerald, as we get close to wrapping up here, what are the best ways for folks to stay connected with you and J&I and to learn more about J&I?
Well, we have a website. It's J&I Duct, DUCT.com. And we have email is gmiller, that's GMILLER at jiduct.com. And our phone number is 937-473-2121.
2121. Yeah.
And I'd be happy to, if somebody wants to shoot me an email or call me if you're going through a challenge, a really dark moment, I'll talk their business questions, whatever it is, I'm available.
Great.
I'll even sell you some ductwork.
Oh, by the way, yeah. And I encourage folks listen to this. Yeah, check out their website for sure, and feel free to call Gerald or email him as well. But they do a great job on their website with calling out their team, recognizing the team, and also being very clear about their mission and purpose and values. So I think a great example of that. So it's not just talk, because as you hear about the culture and the retention with his employee base, they're truly living that out. So as we wrap up today here, Gerald, what are you inspired by today?
Actually, I'm inspired by the fact that we can sit here today and have this meeting on Zoom and reach the world. I mean, the technology advancements I've seen in my lifetime and the ability that we have to reach customers and people is just, that inspires me.
Okay. Yeah, we take it for granted how easy it is to reach around the globe these days, right? So, yep. Well, Gerald, thank you so much. Lots of great life lessons here that you shared in your 40 plus years of business ownership and leadership. Even thoughts around how to, start to handle succession and building up other leaders within the team. But I think most importantly, all around the importance of the team. You can't stress that enough. How many times you mentioned about having the right employees who have the right shared the same values and goals. It's just the foundation to having a successful business. and really making an impact in the community, which I know you're doing in the local community there as well. So thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right. And to our viewers today, we're grateful to have you join us as well. Hope you took some great notes from what Gerald shared here as well. And we encourage you to hit that like button. That helps us with sharing the message more. And as I mentioned, go ahead and subscribe so you can receive future messages from inspiring, proven, successful entrepreneurs like you heard from Gerald here today. And so without that, I hope you all have a terrific day. Thank you so much.